Hi guys, here Sam and Mia. And how are you, Sam?
I'm nice. Today we have a big thing to discuss. We promised a lot yesterday, so today is
mm,
the day
you,
to finally, jump in the big topic into the big topic. That
yeah,
is, yeah,
yesterday very interested in me in that history story about human species. Yeah. So today, uh, can you give me outline or summarize
yeah. What we discussed yesterday. A
for
recap is that.
today?
Yeah, a quick recap of what we discussed yesterday. Yesterday, we saw how humans started the journey of evolution from chimpanzees and how there were
Mm,
many species of humans, and Homo sapiens were not the only one. There were others who lived together with us, and we outlived them all, and how Neanderthals were existing just like 30,000 years ago. Java humans were existing 12,000 years ago, and we
mm,
share this planet with other humans. But unfortunately, or you may say fortunately, now we are the only species of human left now. So, but
yeah.
usually commonsensical thinking is that we were always the only human, but that is not true. There were other humans as
Mm,
well. So
yeah.
yesterday we discussed about the other humans other than us. We are sapiens,
Mm,
and there were others
mm-hmm.
like Homo erectus and Neanderthals, and we discussed a great deal about Neanderthals and what advantages they had over sapiens. But ultimately, they died out. Sapiens
Mm,
pushed them away. So we ended discussion
yeah.
yesterday about reasons, what could have speculating like what could have caused Neanderthals' eventual death. And today we have definite answers, like why sapiens
Yeah.
were capable and ultimately succeeded in replacing Neanderthals, and what
Mm,
fundamental change happened that led to
yeah.
sapiens dominating the human species race of
Mm-hmm.
evolution.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay.
so my question is as is evident from archaeological research, that Homo sapiens first tried to conquer Neanderthal lands 1 lakh year ago, but they were unsuccessful. They were pushed back, and
Yeah.
but in the second attempt, that was 70,000 years ago, they succeeded. So what caused that difference? Why the first time they failed and second time they succeeded?
Yeah, they invented many amazing things, you know. Can you guess what kind of tools? Mm-hmm.
Like bow and arrow.
Very, yeah, really. And a boat as well. So they can journey so across the water, so far away. It's a very wonderful thing, yeah. And another thing, they have needles. What what can you mm, what can you do with the needles? Very important thing in human needles.
Yeah, stitching.
Hmm?
Stitching
Yeah,
clothes and making clothes
yeah,
together, come together.
that's right. Yeah, yeah. They can hunting big animals, and then they can have fur very warm, and then they sewing their warm clothing. Yeah, and then with the boat, so across the water, so they can alive their very warm clothing, and even very sharp uh, bow and arrows, so agile, and then they can uh, attack Neanderthals so easily. I think so.
Yeah, that's
Mm-hmm.
fine. But what caused this revolution to happen? So what is the fundamental um, factor behind the change of sapiens society or mind? What led
Oh,
this revolution? Was it was
yeah.
it language?
Amazing. Yeah, about language, including language. So we can say in totally we can say cognitive ability. We have more um, in great way we can use our brain. Yeah. So um, accidental genetic mutations happen to sapiens.
Yeah.
Yeah. So suddenly, so different from other species. Yeah. So they can have such a ability. So please explain more the cognitive revolution, please.
All right, so I will, language is like
Mm,
very difficult to quantify and say like which language is
mm,
better than the other. But a great example is to compare the communication of two different species. For example, communication in chimpanzees or monkeys versus communication in
yeah.
humans. For example, zoologist research shows that that green monkeys have developed language to an extent that they can
Mm,
clearly tell like difference between a threat coming from an eagle versus a difference between threat coming from a lion. So yeah,
yeah.
so a
Right.
monkey can communicate by
Yeah.
making a specific voice that look eagle is going to attack from the above. So the moment geologists played that
Mm,
voice, the monkey jumped from high position towards low, and there is a
yeah.
completely different
Really.
noise which a monkey makes when a lion is approaching. So when zoologists play that voice, you know monkeys start running
Mm,
towards top of the tree, so they have this like complex system, so they can
mm,
differentiate and communicate the different types of condition. But
uh-huh.
this is as sophisticated and complicated it sounds, but it's still very, very rudimentary when compared to sapient communication. So, sapiens,
Uh-huh.
after this cognitive revolution happened, somehow mastered the skill to communicate beyond what's happening. So, they are able to communicate information in past, so they can say like, I saw the lion drinking water yesterday behind the bushes. So this
Yeah,
information,
really.
complex information, can be passed on, which cannot be done in other ape society. And
mm,
other great development of like sapient language was
mm-hmm.
its ability. How I don't know. Nobody knows how and when it came into existence, but somehow
Mm,
Homo sapiens developed a habit of gossiping. Gossiping
mm.
means discussing someone's personal life or their
Yeah,
about them,
really.
and
Mm,
we to this day love this. So there are gossiping
yeah.
magazines, there are tabloids who do that. There are TV commercials. There are TV shows who discuss celebrity private life and like that. So Homo sapiens developed a skill to gossip and gossip very
Yeah,
effectively.
you and I now gossiping now, right?
Yeah, we are sharing
Now.
information, but we are not criticizing someone behind the back. So once we
Aha.
do that,
Then
so we
gossiping,
gossiping is
gossiping
discussing
means
about members of
so word
society.
thing. I
Yeah,
mean, gossiping
gossiping is like,
usually so worst thing
no, it's not worst
we
thing. It's
talk.
not worst thing. It's way of
Mm.
discussing information about the members of society. For example, when
Yeah.
you or I or anybody else, or for example, media gossips, it usually is discussing
Mm.
information about the individual who exists within the society. So you are in a way
Mm.
like evaluating the position of the person in the society. So
Mm-hmm.
like somebody is good, somebody is bad, somebody has done something legal or illegal, like
Mm.
that. So like
Mm-hmm.
um, like TV news anchors discuss, like this politician has support of this politician, this group support this politician. So it's in some way trying to figure out what is the position of that person in society. And for example, I'll give
Mm-hmm.
you the Me Too moment. The Me Too moment, the allegations those were made against famous movie stars like Kevin Spacey and others, their career was destroyed. So after that allegation,
Mm-hmm.
Homo sapiens society sort of like um, finished his high standing, and they rejected those
Mm-hmm.
actors. So this is a
Okay.
real life example of gossiping. So how gossiping and
Mm-hmm.
information sharing about an individual, so you can like fix the place of individual in a society. So like that. So
Mm-hmm.
this is the second habit that Homo sapiens have, which other animals don't have. So other animals cannot gossip
Mm-hmm.
like Homo sapiens can. And
Yeah. So you mean our special language traits is our language is more
advanced, yeah,
sophisticated
sophisticated.
and yeah, and we talk about human. So like so we a way of gossiping, right?
Yeah, and you know the third
Mm-hmm.
facet, which is also very remarkable, which I want you to explain, is ability to imagine and discuss things which do not exist, like fiction, like religion,
Yeah, really.
like religion, like money, like I would say even like longitude and latitude. It does not exist on Earth,
Mm,
but we sort of like have
really.
created and discussed and cooperated based
Mm-hmm.
on longitude and latitude. So GPS is based on
Mm-hmm.
completely fictional thing. So that ability is also there.
Mm-hmm.
So can you like tell more about that?
Oh yeah, I want to say more. That means gossiping means Homo sapiens is a very social animal than others. So they want to have more social cooperation, and that means the very important the point of of uh, to survive and to reproduce, right? So um, Homo sapiens has such a skill. They can meet together and gossip, and then they want to have firm and hard social cooperation. So Mm. And what was your
Yeah,
question
my
about the
question was about,
fictions?
yeah, fiction. So ability to
Mm-hmm.
discuss those things that do not exist. So can you explain that element of
Really?
language more for our listeners?
Yeah. So fictions, we can speak about fictions, yeah. Even though it is not exist, and we can imagine, even though it is not exist, and that means we can human can uh, to do collectively very easily, and that means we can have ability to understand flexibly each other, so we can have together in large numbers, really large numbers. How large numbers means, can you imagine orangutan or chimpanzee in one place? Yeah, they can, how many uh, chimpanzees can uh, together? Yeah.
So, Mia, I want to ask, like, all right, so we have so far understood that gossiping was a way of like social communication, but you also said about talking in terms of fiction or
Mm.
imagination. So, can you explain
Mm.
more about that? So, how fiction helped organize human society, sapient society?
Yeah, fiction sometimes very dangerous thing, because we can be misled or distracted, right? But for Sapiens, fiction has um, fiction can yeah, fiction with the fiction we can to do so collectively and even in large numbers and so sapiens can cooperate very well in subtle ways, yeah, and with the countless numbers of strangers, even strangers, we can talk and gossip about fictions,
Can you
God
can
or
you give an
myths, like
example?
that.
So how two strangers can cooperate using fiction or story? Can you give us an example?
Kind of example. Please give me first. You can
Yeah,
say
you
that.
can say about the Crusade War. So yeah,
Yeah.
about any
Mm-hmm.
national war. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
two Christians who don't know each other, have never met in life, are
Yeah.
together for common cause, that is to protect Christianity.
Mm.
Or like two
Mm-hmm.
soldiers of a nation,
Mm-hmm.
never
Mm-hmm.
never knowing each other personally, but together they are defending their nation against a common enemy. So they are like
Mm-hmm.
coming together and cooperating based on a story,
Mm-hmm.
based on a concept of
Mm-hmm.
mind, that is a religion or
Mm-hmm.
country.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
so
Mm.
like that. But there is a limit, a threshold level. You said like 150 individual. Can you explain that? What is that?
What number?
Yeah, about the number.
You mean threshold of number, right?
Yeah.
Than any animals. So, we uh, we can have the group uh, in large numbers, but other animals also they can be together in a place, but the Yuval Harabi especially he uh, suggests the number uh, the thresholds of numbers 150. uh, Cognitive revolution means we can together gossip, but people can naturally we can bond together. Yeah, 150 individuals. But animals, in that number, they will be in chaos. Yeah, so different thing. So the number is very important thing. It's in scientific ways they found the numbers, right? I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we can have empire, even so big empires. It is difficult from kingdom, right?
Yeah.
Empire. Yeah. What is it different? Kingdom and empires.
Yeah, kingdom is more intimate, and empire is like um, built on a common myth or story. For example, we all are
Uh-huh.
Romans, we all are French, like that. So, an
Mm-hmm.
identity or a story or a myth is created
Mm-hmm.
to keep the society together.
Mm-hmm. Intimate relationship in a place, but empire is more across the land, right?
Yeah, so intimate
Yeah.
relationship cannot sustain an empire. So
Uh-huh.
beyond 150, you need a story, a myth, or fiction to keep people together.
That's right. So that's why we can make empire, yeah, with the fictions and common myths, right?
Yeah,
And yeah, such uh, many systems we made with the fictions. give me examples in our society or yeah.
Yeah, I will give you example of judicial system. For example, law system.
Oh
Law
yeah.
is
Oh
also
yeah.
a kind of like myth, a kind of like mental
Mm.
concept. For example,
Aha.
um, a contract. For example, two people enter into
Mm.
a contract and they agree to do something for the other, and the concept and the understanding is that if one or the other breaks the terms, the court of law will punish or impose penalty on the person who
Mm.
broke the contract terms. So the corporation is worked on the assumption that court will punish or hold the person who broke the law or broke the contract terms as accountable. So
Mm-hmm.
they found the common ground for working cooperation based on a judicial system, which is itself is in a way agreed upon. It does not exist in physical world, but it's a mental
Yeah.
concept. Yeah.
Uh-huh. So another big exam, important exam, when I learn about economy, I didn't know the limited
Liability
reliability
company. Yeah.
companies, uh, uh, lia-
Ability.
reliability. Yeah, it's even though without owner, yeah, or founder, the company can exist, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. How?
Yeah, it is based on a mental concept or agreement, or you can say fiction, that a company
Yeah.
has its own existence. In law, it is said that
Mm-hmm.
as a separate legal distinct entity, which means that
Mm-hmm.
it is like separate from its owner. So you can say Facebook is separate from Mark Zuckerberg. So
Mm.
even though a company takes loan and defaults, fails to pay the loan, but there is no effect
Yeah,
on the owner of the
really.
company, because company
Uh-huh.
has its own obligations and its own rights. So
Mm.
sapiens worked out that concept, that a
Mm-hmm.
organization can be created which is fictional, completely fictional.
Mm-hmm.
It does not exist as a
Mm-hmm.
person. There is no entity, but it's agreed upon that it is an entity, and that entity
Mm-hmm.
pays taxes to government as well. So it's
Yeah.
completely imaginary, but sapiens
Wow.
have found a way of organizing economic activity based on that
Mm-hmm.
fictional entity. So you can say that.
Mm. So that system, the company system, is for the people want to escape the problems. Just they want to be free, to without any burden.
Yeah.
To yeah, so clever, really. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
without any even though the people dies, yeah, the company can exist and there are labors all the time changeable, and it's yeah, exists so long time, so long company. We can see that even Samsung, Samsung company now, Lee Jae-yong, the CEO, have the problem in the court, and he um, almost we can say he will be soon in prison. But Samsung is exist without
Yeah.
any yeah, that's the system, right? With a fiction. Mm. And
And
um,
one thing that we
yeah,
have to mention, how language
please.
and the fiction has changed the route of sapiens evolution. For example, ape society organizes itself based
Yeah.
on an alpha man. So alpha man is the leader of chimpanzees, who is elected in a
Mm-hmm.
way. He attains that position by coalitions, like other apes supporting him
Mm-hmm.
to become a alpha man. So that way of
Uh-huh.
organizing ape society will remain as long as there is no changes in DNA. So there is you won't
Ah.
find chimpanzees going for election or selecting their presidents like we do. But
Yeah.
but how sapiens have changed so many times, their way of organizing society is based on like common agreed upon fiction or common agreed upon myths. For
Mm.
example, I'll give you the
Mm-hmm.
example of in olden in days, there was a saying that king can do no wrong. So
Mm.
it was concept was like king is divinely ordained or blessed or given responsibility to govern people, and the
Mm.
society was organized in the name and honor of king. So king was supreme and all his
Mm.
subjects followed his king and his
Mm-hmm.
generations. So it was on in a way purity of blood, and king's son became king and like that. So that
Mm.
was old way of organizing society based on the idea of fiction of supremacy of divine being being a king. Then after French Revolution, social concept changed, and the concept of sovereignty of people, like the right to govern lies in people, came, and that led to ultimately birth of democracy. So democracy, the common people choose their ruler, and they throw out politicians when they feel like that the politician is not serving the good of the people. So the way human society changes is based upon the ideas they agree upon or the fiction they agree upon, and they rapidly evolve and change their way of organizing themselves based on the common agreed upon myth or fiction. So so this is the like basic difference between other animals and sapiens, that sapiens can, their society can evolve faster than any DNA can change. So it's so rapid. But in case of other animals, DNA have to undergo few changes, then only you can see any changes in the way they behave or they organize their society. So that is also linked to the bigger question, like why sapiens survived over other species. So, do you want to add anything till this point?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, please.
Mm. And uh, lying and what is the difference from between lying and an imagined reality? Yeah.
Mm,
I mean, animal also. I heard that they can also lie. For example, yeah, monkeys or chimpanzees, if they want to have other chimpanzee have fruits, then the other want to have and eat that, eat it, then he lies. Oh, suddenly, so dangerous animal. Example, for example, lion comes. They lied and then take the fruit and eat it. Like that, they can lie. But an imagined reality, uh, really such a so sorcerers and priests, they believe in God really, even though it is not exist. Yeah.
yeah,
So imagined reality, uh, they believe even yeah, there are also yeah, some liars there were, but usually they believe really yeah, really ghost or God, there there are in this world. They thought. So we can say sapiens have they were living uh, in a dual reality. What do you think a dual reality?
I this part I don't know. I want you to answer.
Aha,
And
just to
also about
yeah.
the comparison of trade of sapiens and Neanderthals. I want you to address that too. For example, how sapiens worked out greater cooperation and traded, whereas Neanderthal didn't. So I want you to answer these two questions.
I'm not sure
Yeah, yeah.
I
You
can
go ahead and
answer
answer the first
this
question.
question.
So I'll ask you again. You go ahead. You what you were
Okay.
saying? Yeah.
Yeah, dual reality. I mean, really, sapiens believed in fictions, even though it is not exist. So they confused really in this world. Even they live with other people, and then we sapiens believed really there are ghosts and God. I mean, so it is not a lie. They thought, they believe it is really there uh, are such a things, such a fictions. Really, they thought that. I, I want to say that. Yeah, just to. Mhm. Can you understand
Yeah, yeah. I get it.
what I mean? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And what do you
I was
please?
asking
What do you want to say?
about why Neanderthals failed in comparison to sapiens. Like what evidence, archaeological evidence, indicate about trade and all that? They're trading seashells. Can you explain that?
Ah, um, yeah. Sapiens, they could, they have a boat, right? They can build a boat, and they can cross the water. So they have, they can uh, trade uh, even so far away, uh, land so long distance trade they could do. So uh, the evidence is seashells and a stone. The special name, what is it? Obsidian.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
very complex word. I'm not able to recall the exact pronunciation of the word, but yeah, some unique quality
Mm.
of seashells were traded, and
Yeah.
what that suggests is that Neanderthals were not able to cooperate on a larger basis, so they stayed in small groups and or smaller,
Aha.
and they like
That's
hunted
right.
in small groups. They were not able to work out cooperation of like thousands of individuals, so they stayed in small
Mm.
groups and they failed to work out a bigger model for cooperation. Unlike sapiens found a way to organize
Yeah.
themselves.
Really.
So when they
Mm.
faced sapiens who were like thousands in number, the Neanderthals could not keep up with sapiens because they had no system to cooperate. Unlike
Yeah.
sapiens worked out a way to organize like thousands of and lots of individuals together by working out, um, through
Mm.
gossiping or through fiction, like believing in a tribe and all that. So they figured out a way to cooperate among themselves, whereas Neanderthal failed to cooperate on a larger basis. So you can say Neanderthal's evolution failed on the pedestal of human cooperation, whereas sapiens were successful. So that caused,
Yeah.
Neanderthals to ultimately die out because their smaller number could not, face the bigger onslaught of sapiens who were coming in thousands. So that is,
And
yeah,
yeah, and one more thing, yeah, connection, not so different, but hunting technique as well, yeah, different.
yeah,
Neanderthals, they cannot, as you said, they cannot uh, have cooperation so well than sapiens. So, um, and sapiens have so um, special tools as well, and they can uh, cooperate so well. And hunting technique also they have, and they can handle fires so well, and they have so warm clothing as well. So yeah, I think this time it, as you said, sapiens was cross out of Africa. uh, First time they must have to had to retreat, but second time they won. Sapiens won.
yeah,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
yeah.
that's right.
And another thing that
Okay.
I want to ask you is, um, what you and Harari prefers to say, difference between biology and history. So, can you explain like what is the difference between biology and history for evolution or the story of humans? So, can you explain that?
Uh, in my humble way,
Yeah,
I
sure,
want to
please.
say, yeah, the cognitive revolution before the cognitive revolution, that means only they were biology of humans and animals, but suddenly uh, in the period of cognitive revolution, the sapiens have language and so many different skills, and as you said, fictions and hunting techniques like that. They made such a big revolution, and then uh, they can uh, mm, make history independently from biology. uh, it's a little okay, then
Yeah,
please
that give us
add
an.
more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll give you like it becomes clear by discussing an example. For example,
Mm-hmm.
you can say that like from common Homo sapiens group, the earlier ancestor that is Australopithecus or whatever the
Mm.
pronunciation is, to Homo sapiens. The
Yeah.
journey is of evolution of DNA or changes in brain structure. So it's based on biology.
Yeah.
So Homo sapiens have like smaller jaw and well organized brain, bigger size. So it's basically a history of biology. The changes that you see in sapient life is firmly rooted in biology. But
Mm-hmm.
after this culture cognitive revolution happens, the changes in sapient society is no longer based on biology. So after cognitive revolution till there is no difference at all in sapient brain. So it's fundamentally same brain, same biology as it was 70,000 years ago. So after that biology ends and history takes over. So now the changes that you see in rise of Christianity, rise of French Revolution, it's basically interaction of idea, images and fantasy. It's evolution of stories, it's evolution of fiction.
Mm-hmm.
So you can say that
Mm-hmm.
biology ends and history begins after cognitive revolution. So, our DNA fundamentally remains the same since then, but our story changes. For example, how we cooperate. So earlier, now we are able to cooperate on big issues like like world trade or nuclear weapon was created by like cooperation of millions of people, like from mining uranium to creation of a nuclear atomic formula by some scientist, to really working out the structure of nuclear bomb. Is so many people at different level are involved, so it's so gigantic cooperation, so which was not, which no one could have imagined. So after biology ends, the human history begins. So now the DNA and everything is same for last 70,000 years, but now the story is not of evolution of DNA or changes in brain structure, rather it's of story of human cooperation or human conflict. So it's a story about fiction, or the story that human, or the myths that humans created among themselves to to stretch their story. So that's why human Harari says that what is, Harari says that biology ends and history begins. So that is what I understand about the difference
Mm-hmm.
between biology and history.
Yeah, yeah. You mean Sapiens was not so much different before cognitive revolution. Then Sapiens have uh, really such a change, mental change they
Yeah,
have,
you can
right?
say that after
Mm.
cognitive revolution, 70,000 years is like nothing. So there is no
Mm.
evolutionary changes in the human that was living 70,000 years ago, and now it's essentially the same person, same biologically same person.
But mental change is so big suddenly. That's the genetic mutation they have
Yeah, 70,000 years ago.
increasingly.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Hmm. Oh, really? How can sapiens get such a genetic mutation?
That
Um,
is very difficult
can
question
you
to
imagine?
answer. No, I cannot.
I think they already they are a little different action different in living way was different. I mean, upright working, and they can use the hands, and a little different with the brain, a neck also, so they must support the big brain. And such action again and again they repeated, and next generation have such genes, and then suddenly they have uh, different um, body change from other animals, I think, because of their um, lifestyle is different already. So slowly, very slowly, they change the body, and then they have such they experienced mutation. I thought that, I imagined that, but it's not correct. Yeah, just my guessing. Yeah. Okay then. Hmm. And then
And
uh
anything you
yeah,
like to add? We have discussed so
yeah.
much for today. So anything you
Mhm.
like to add more to today's discussion?
Oh yeah, just to also amazing number. Uh, the to cross the thresholds of 150 individuals. Really amazing number, because um, so different from other animals and other species. We are can gather together, and we can stick them together. um, yeah, so unlimited numbers we can humans can gather and gossip together and have such a same goal or same god. Yeah, so amazing thing, really such a cooperation, everything we can do that, everything possible to face so dangerous animals, and even yeah. So um, yeah, you can imagine that how we developed so much. Suddenly, uh, yeah, we can divide the atoms even, yeah. So mm, okay.
Yeah, I can
Mm,
feel that, um,
yeah.
a president's election is like biggest exercise in gossiping. For example,
Uh-huh.
media, individuals, families gossip about like upcoming elections, and they finally vote.
Mm-hmm.
So, a sapient
Mm-hmm.
society, after gossiping a lot, votes together to find out
Yeah,
whether a
really.
politician will stay in office or will be kicked out of an office. So,
Mm.
election in a way is the biggest gossip exercise. So
Mm-hmm.
sapiens have that way of organizing society by gossip on a bigger
Mm-hmm.
level as well.
Mm-hmm. So, uh, I want to say, I want to think about a little in different way. I mean, sapiens developed so in greatest steps, right? With the greatest steps. But um, societies or sensations, emotions, or family bonds, not so much different from other animals. That means human um, uh, can develop so well, but we don't have no right to harass any animals. Even
Yeah,
we, yeah, we improve so much, but that means we can conquer any every animals or every nature or like that misuse, no way. Yeah, do you think so?
yeah,
Yeah, really, I think, yeah, just to we watch a little more clever and mm, big revolution we had many times. Yeah, but fundamentally we are animal, we must uh, accept it. When Darwin said, yeah, human uh, also animals, then human was at that time so anger, upset, and
yeah,
against Darwin's, that. Yeah, we thought we are God for animals or for nature, but mm, really we are animals. Yeah, okay. So, do you want to add something more?
yeah. I want to explain Descartes' theory. I read somewhere, I may be
Mm.
wrong, but Descartes said that since humans have been endowed with superior reasoning capacity and mental capacity, so it is his right to exploit all environment, including animals. So that
Mm.
sense of superiority has always
Mm.
plagued human society, sapient society. It believes
Right.
that it is so superior than other animals, but in many respects, sapien is just like another animal. So it's just by
Yeah,
play of luck
really.
that his language capacity and few mental structure change, and it reached the place it is today. But it does not mean like
Mm.
it will stay here forever. So it is possible like
Mm.
other animals eventually become smarter than human. Why not? It is possible. Evolution can do that.
Yeah, really. Mm-hmm. That's right. Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, then we can finish here. Yeah?
Yeah. So Tomorrow we can discuss further about Sapiens' life and how was a sapien day in like 70,000 years ago. So
Mm-hmm.
we can find more how sapien lived in the past and how it affects even the way we are living today. So we will find all that tomorrow, and
Yeah.
it is a wrap for today. So
Mm-hmm.
so much thank you, Mia, for so meaningful discussion, and we'll be back tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow. This opportunity to learn history for me really so wonderful thing because I have not exact history knowledge, but now I want to have more yeah reasonable histories mindset. Yeah. Okay. So thank you so much with you with the guys. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.